Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is your instructor Joy. A subscriber was asking how one could approach learning a completely new piece. Very good question. We all do that here and there for various reasons. Sometimes we listen to a recording, we got excited, we want to learn it. Now we got the sheet music, then now what, right? So many things. I want to start, but how do I learn it most efficiently? That way that I can actually perform this piece beautifully and well. So make sure a good plan raises your rate of success higher. So it's a very good thinking that you want to know what kind of structure we need when we're faced with a new project or new pieces. Let's think about the basic elements of music. There are four: tone, the sound production, pitch, intonation, rhythm, then ideas, musicality. So which means when we're learning a piece, whether new, old, or whatever, these four elements should be greatly observed and worked on very much. Of course, there are many other ways too, but I'm talking the big four important elements of music or performance, so that we know how to prioritize our practicing. So now, what I encourage my students to do is when they have new piece, first I encourage them to listen to recordings. Notice that I'm saying plural because sometimes I find that when a violinist fall in love with just one specific performer, which happens to all of us, then we want to just copy it just like that. Copying a specific playing can be a nice first step to learn, but remember, when our goal is copying somebody's performance or somebody's idea, the best thing that we could do is just become a second best, because it's not our original performance, our original idea. Therefore, we're just trying to, it can't be very authentic, or we're just trying to be the second best. That's the best outcome that could be. In my opinion, it would be better that we start practicing to put our own ideas. For that reason, it's very important for all violinists to listen different recordings of the same piece, so that we get an idea what this music is about, but we don't get too rigid with one way of playing, right? So that we're a little more open to different styles of playing. So then after that, then you play, and then you get sheet music, of course. Then you play from beginning to the end, a little under tempo. Remember here, we're not trying to practice the piece, but we're trying to just read or get familiar with the piece of what we're about to learn. Just play from beginning to the end with a somewhat performance bowing, somewhat performance fingering, but in under tempo, meaning on a slower side, so that we can kind of play through. Remember, we're not trying to practice, so do not stop and repeat and fix it as you go. That can do more harm than good, but because whatever we do with our muscle stores and remembers, and if you did not collect the good habits that can play against us, so just give a slow, genuine 1 or 2 reading, not more. Then as you do that, then you mark the passages that's somewhat challenging, you couldn't play through, or it seems like you didn't quite understand what it is. Don't worry about that, just pencil mark, circle it, make it X, or check whatever you do, so that you will come later. Then once you mark those a little difficult passages or not so perfect passages, then now it's time to start working properly. Remember, the 4 basic elements was tone, pitch, rhythm, and ideas. 3 out of 4 has to do with techniques. The ratios are not same, but just a 3 out of 4 list has to do with technique, means we need to have tools. I mean, you can have the best ideas, but if you don't have enough tools to deliver, it's gonna be very hard to share your ideas and musicalities. So we need to build our tools, our techniques. Just like when you build a house, you can have the best idea of the house design, but if you don't have a proper hammer and digging machine, it can't be done, right? So work on your rhythm, tone quality and intonation, but gradually. And sometimes when it comes to rhythm practice, simply just writing down underneath 1N, 2N, or just circling those rests that can be often skipped or shortened. That can be a great exercise or practice that doesn't always have to involve with violin. Then once you've done this a little difficult passages, a specific practice, then now you go back to recording, listening. Now this is real fun part, because that's when the real art, your creativity comes to play. Now here again, you listen to many different players and compare. Now when you compare, try not to listen from beginning to the end, but compare very systematically. Let's say you're playing a specific piece, and then you have values A, B, C, D, E, and then you listen the first 5 seconds, first 10 seconds of player A, then listen to player B, C, on one after the other, and compare. It's a great era that we are in, that we can do that at the fingertips. So do take advantage of it while you compare, and then analyze what you like and what you don't like, and analyze why you prefer this versus the other, which is training us to come up with your own ideas. You can take a little idea here and there if you're not sure where to start, just as a first step learning, but then try to come up with your own ideas. Or if you had a such level of tool or technique, what would you do differently, and try that one out. At first it might feel a little uncomfortable, but just like anything else, building musicality, phrasing, and coming up with your own ideas, you have to start early on. Yeah, that can be practiced like any other technique. Once you've done and informed specific your musical ideas, then you go back to music, and then you put your bowing, fingerings, and certain ideas according to your musical idea. Now you put together your ideas and your tools, and that's basically what it is when it comes to learning a completely new piece. Now, when we're learning a completely new piece, one should always feel free to try and explore different fingerings and different bowings, because sometimes when we practice just one type of fingering or one type of bowing, we tend to kind of stop getting better, or we tend to stop thinking for better solutions. Sometimes when certain bowing, certain fingerings doesn't work, just try different fingerings. That could give you another option of solution, or sometimes it ends up solving your original fingerings or bowings. Either way, it's a win-win. When you do that, just keep in mind, one should not change bowings or fingerings, anything like that, too close to performance state, because you don't want to do too many changes when you're getting closer to the performance state. So good guidance would be about 2 to 4 weeks prior to concert. By the time, you should have everything set and fixed so that you can just maintain as you go. Yeah, I hope this gave you some ideas. Let me know how you are doing, and I would like to know how my advice were helpful to you. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again. Bye bye.